நீங்கள் பார்த்து கொண்டிருப்பது உங்கள் RSKV யூடியூப் சேனல்.
Income Tax Inspectors Exam 2019. Question 1. As per the definition in section 2N of the RTI Act 2005, a person other than the citizen making a request for information is third party. Question 2. Section 4 of 1B 1B, the Right to Information Act 2005 states that a public authority should publish the particulars of its organization, functions and duties within dash days from the enactment of this Act 120. Question 3. According to Section 44 of Registration Act 1908, upon receipt of an application for withdrawal of a will deposited under Section 42, the registrar has to first satisfy himself that the applicant is actually the testator or his agent. Question 4. An unmarried male Hindu on partition does not by himself constitute an HUF. 2. An HUF may consist of one male Hindu and widow of his brother. 3. An HUF may consist of one male Hindu, his wife, and unmarried daughters. All the three above are true. Question 5. Which of the following created trust? A bequeaths certain property to B, having the fullest confidence that he will dispose of it for the benefit of C. Question 6. Under which section of the Indian Succession Act 1925, a father may by will appoint a guardian for his child during minority? 60. Question number 7. Which order of CPC deals with affidavit? 19. Question 8. In which of the cases the restrictions on enjoyment of absolute interest is valid? 1. For the purpose of adjoining land. 2. A restraint on power of alienation of a house by the transferee. 3. Gift of a house with the condition that gift will be forfeited if transferee doesn't reside in the house. 4. Condition that the transferee will not be able to sail further for 3 years. First one, for the purpose of adjoining land, is correct. Question 9. A lets his house to B at rent of ₹50 and then transfers that house to C. B, having no notice of the transfer in good faith, pays the rent to A, by virtue of which section of Transfer of Property Act 1882, B is not liable to pay such rent again to C. Section 50. Question 10. As per the Indian Succession Act 1925, codicil means an instrument made in relation to a will. Question 11. Which of the following is incorrect regarding liability for breach to trust by the trustee? Answer. Where the trustee commits breach of trust, he is liable to make good the loss which the trust property or the beneficiary has thereby sustained along with interest at all times. Question 12. According to Section 5 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882, living persons include company or association or body of individuals. Question 13. As per the provisions of Right to Information Act 2005, the right to information is available to all the citizens of India. Question 14. Consider the following statement about the Right to Information Act 2005. All the provisions of this act came into force at once of its enactment. Question 15. Section 17 of the Registration Act provides for Documents which are compulsorily registrable. Question 16. Self-acquired property of a co-partner voluntarily thrown into common stock of the co-partner's property takes the character of joint property. Question 17. As per Section 6 of the Indian Trust Act 1882, for creation of a trust, one of the following is not compulsory if the trust is created by will. Author of the trust shall transfer the trust property to the trustee. Question 18. Which is not correct? Where the application for a review is heard by more than one judge and the court is equally divided, the application shall be sent to larger bench. This statement is not correct. Question 19. Under the provisions of Transfer of Property Act, which of the following indicate the transfer of absolute interest in property? Sales and gifts. Question 20. A lease of immovable property from year to year or for any term exceeding 1 year or reserving a yearly rent can be made only by a registered instrument. Question 21. As per Section 11 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, if a person wants to acquire domicile in India by declaring in writing his desire for such domicile, how much period of residence in India required? 1 year immediately preceding the time of making such declaration. Question 22. Where a testator bequeaths certain property upon trust and the purpose of the trust appears on the face of the will to be unlawful or during the testator's lifetime, the legatee agrees with him to apply the property for an unlawful purpose. The legatee must hold the property for the benefit of the testator's legal representative. Question 23. Under the provisions of Section 6 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882, the chance of an heir apparent succeeding to an estate, the chance of a relation obtaining a legacy on the death of a kinsman or any other mere possibility of like nature cannot be transferred. Question 24. The right to information includes right to take notes, extracts or certified copies of the documents or records. Question 25. The officer designated by the public authorities in all administrative units or officers under it to provide information to the citizens requesting for information under the Right to Information Act 2005 is known as Public Information Officer, PIO. Question 26. Who is certified to present authority to adopt for registration as per Registration Act? Testator. Question 27. After the amendment of Hindu Succession Act 1956 in 2005, all daughters have equal rights in the joint family property along with sons. Question 28. As per Indian Trust Act 1882, a trustee A can delegate his office, B can delegate his duties. Both A and B are false. How does the not? Question 29. Law does not permit the power of review under CPC can be exercised upon where applicant didn't participate in the proceedings. Question 30. If the transfer made under the Transfer of Property Act imposes any condition or clause to the transferee not to transfer further, then such clause is called rule against inalienability. 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 Question 31. If the lessor neglects to make within a reasonable time after notice any repairs which he is bound to make to the property. A. The lessee may make the same himself and deduct the expense of such repairs with interest from the rent. B. The lessee may make the same himself and recover it from the lessor. Either A or B is correct. Question 32. A has left a will whereby he has appointed B his executor, but the will contains no other provisions. What is correct statement? A has died intestate in respect of the distribution of his property. Question 33. Where property is bequeathed and the revocation of the bequest is prevented by coercion, the legatee must hold the property for the benefit of the testator's legal representative. Question 34. Which of the following documents does not require registration? 1. Any composition deed. 2. Any instrument relating to shares in a joint stock company, notwithstanding that the assets of such company consist in whole or in part of immovable property. Both 1 and 2 are correct. Question 35. The applicant making request for information under RTA Act 2005 should provide the following details. The details necessary for contact him or her. Question 36. Which section of the Right to Transformation Act 2005 deals with severability? Section 10. Question 37. As per Registration Act, a Muslim gift deed reduced to writing is compulsorily registrable. Question 38. A co-partner dash predicate that he has a definite share in the joint family property while it remains undivided. Answer: cannot. Cannot predicate. Question 39. Indicate the option from below which does not render the purpose. Question 39. Indicate the option from below which does not render the purpose of a trust unlawful. Answer: if it is not indicated with reasonable certainty. Question 40. The term substituted service under CPC means service of process made under authorization of court upon defendants. Question 41. Under the provisions of Transfer of Property Act, the benefits of a contract can be assigned as an actionable claim and transferred unless the benefit is coupled with an obligation which the assigner is bound to discharge. Question 42. Provisions governing transfer of property by co-owners restricts the joint possession or part enjoyment where the transferee of a share of a dwelling house belonging to an undivided family is not a member of the family. Question 43. As per Section 33 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, where the intestate has left a widow, if he also left any lineal descendants, what will be the ratio of property distribution between them? Widow 1/3 and lineal descendants 2/3. Question 44. A trustee uses the trust property for the purpose of his own business. A holds for the benefit of his beneficiary the profits arising from such user. The above illustration is derived from the basic principle enshrined in which section of the Indian Trust Act 1882? Section 88. Question 45. Which of the following documents are not required to be compulsorily registered under Registration Act 1908? Any composition deed. Question 46. Which of the following statements with respect to Section 6 of the RTA Act 2005 is wrong? Where an application is made to a public authority requesting for an information which is held by another public authority, the request will be rejected. Question 47. The Registration Act 1908 extends to the whole of India except Jammu and Kashmir. Question 48. As per the Registration Act, can the registering officer become an attesting witness? Yes. Question 49. Under Mitakshara law, the ownership of the joint family property vests with whole body of co-partners. Question 50. Which of the following is not stipulated in Section 20A of the Indian Trust Act 1882? The expression securities shall have the same meaning as assigned to it in Clause H of Section 2 of the Securities Contracts Regulation Regulation Act 1956. Question 51. A witness who submits affidavit can be ordered by court for cross-examination of deponents. Question 52. Which of the following are valid illustrations of an anomalous mortgage? A possessory mortgage without a conditional sale. Question 53. The provision of improvements made by bona fide holders under defective titles is dealt in Section 51 of Transfer of Property Act 1882. Question 54. As per Section 59 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, which of the following person can make a will? Deaf and blind. Question 55. As per the Indian Trust Act 1882, who can be the beneficiary? Person capable of holding property. Question 56. Which of the following is not a competent authority as per Section 2E of the RTA Act 2005? Chief Information Commissioner in the case of Central Information Commission. Under Registration Act 1908, the registration of will is optional. Question 58. Certificate of registration is given under Section 60 of the Registration Act. Question 59. For the assessment of HUF under Income Tax Act, there should be more than dash members in actual existence during the relevant accounting year. 1 member. 60. Under Order 47 of CPC, the term review means judicial examination of a case in certain prescribed and specified circumstances. Question 61. No one shall be ordered to attend in person to give evidence unless he resides 1. Within the local limits of the court's ordinary original jurisdiction. 2. Without such limits but a place less than 100 km. 3. Where there is railway or steamer communication or other established public conveyance for 5/6 of the distance between the place where he resides and the place where the court is situated is less than 500 km distance from the courthouse. All the above three statements are correct. Question 62. What is the minimum value of tangible immovable property for the sale can be made only by a registered instrument? 100 rupees and upwards. Question 63. Which of the following is not correct? There is no necessity to transfer the immovable property to the trustee. This statement is not correct. Question 64. As per Section 4 of 2 of the RTA Act 2005, the public authority should take steps to provide as much information suo motu to the public through various means of communications at regular intervals. Question 65. As per Section 61 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, which will is not void? Will made by a prisoner of lawful authority. Question 66. According to Section 16 of Registration Act 1908, the responsibility of providing books necessary of the purposes of the Act to the registering authority is cast upon state government. Question 67. Under Mitakshara law, possession of property is not a necessary prerequisite for a joint family. 2. Hindu law does not require that the properties of joint family should necessarily include immovable properties. Both 1 and 2 are true. Question 68. A and B are partners. A dies having bequeathed all his property to B in trust for Z and appointed B his sole executor. B, instead of winding up the affairs of the partnership, retains all the assets in the business under the circumstances. Which of the following option is correct? A. Z may compel B to account for so much of profits as are derived from A's share of the capital. B is also answerable to Z for the improper employment of A's asset. Both A and B above are correct. Question 69. Particulars not liable to be attached in execution of a decree are provided in section 60 of CPC. Question 70. As per the Civil Procedure Code 1908, these shall not be liable to attachment or sale. Books of accounts. Question 71. Sale is a transfer of ownership in exchange for A. Price paid, B. Price promised, C. A part paid and a part promised, D. All of the above. Answer: all of the above. Question 72. Mr. A, an insane person, wants to transfer his beneficial interest. Select the correct position of law as per the Indian Trust Act 1882. Mr. A cannot transfer his beneficial interest at all. Question 73. As per section 218 bar 3 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, if a person is Hindu and died intestate, administration of his estate may be granted to which person if no person apply for administration? Answer: creditor of the deceased. Question 74. If the third party has been given opportunity, the CPIO should make a decision within dash days as to whether or not to disclose the information or record or part thereof as per the section 11 bar 3 of the RTA Act 2005. 40 days. 40. Question 75 is a grace mark question. He term copy referred to it in section 18 bar 1 of Registration Act 1908 does not include. No answer given. Question 76. Dash can enforce partition of a joint family property. Answer: any co-partner. Question 77. Which of the following regarding trust involving immovable property is not correct? A trust involving immovable property can be declared by a will of the trustee and requires to be registered. Question 78. Order 5 of CPC deals with issue and service of summons. Question 79. As per the Civil Procedure Code 1908, how much salary in execution of any decree for maintenance shall not be liable for attachment? 1/3. Question 80. Under the provision of Section 6 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882, stipend allowed to civil pensioners of the government cannot be transferred. Question 81. In respect of mortgage, which is correct? A mortgage is a transfer of an interest in specific immovable property for the purpose of securing the payment of money advanced or to be advanced by way of loan, an existing or future debt, or the performance of an engagement which may give rise to a pecuniary liability. Question 82. As per section 303 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, who is executor of his own wrong? Intermeddling with the goods of the deceased for the purpose of satisfying his own debts. Question 83. The Right to Information Act 2005 came fully into force on 12th October 2005. Question 84. According to section 40 of the Registration Act 1908, after the death of a person who is entitled to present the will for registration, executor or otherwise as specified in the will. Question 85. In respect of joint family, 1. All the savings made out of ancestral property forms part of ancestral property. 2. All profits made out of income of the ancestral property forms part of ancestral property. 3rd, all properties purchased from proceeds out of sale of ancestral property forms part of ancestral property. All the 3 statements above are true. Question 86. Under which section of the Indian Trust Act 1882 the beneficiary, if competent to contract, may transfer his interest? 58. Section 58. Question 87. If an evidence has been given by affidavit, the court can order attendance for cross-examination at the instance of either party. Question 88. Where immovable property is transferred for consideration to two or more persons, in the absence of evidence as to the interest in the fund to which they were respectively entitled, or as to the shares which they respectively advanced, presumed to be equally interested in the property. Question 89. Section 130 of the Transfer of Property Act deals with the transfer of actionable claim. 1. Transfer of actionable claim shall be effected only by the execution of an instrument in writing by the transferor or his duly authorized agent. Question 90. Under the Right to Information Act 2005, right to information includes the right to 1. Inspect work, documents, records. 2. Take notes, extracts or certified copies of documents or records. 3. Take certified samples of materials. 4. Obtain information in form of printouts, diskettes, floppies, tapes, video cassettes or in any other electronic mode or through printouts. All the 4 are correct. As question 91, as per section 317 of the Indian Succession Act 1925, for the purpose of exhibition of inventory and account, which authority may prescribe the form? High Court. Question 92. According to section 42 of Registration Act 1908, deposit of wills with the registrar is to be made in sealed cover. Question 93. As per Registration Act, lease of immovable property for the term not exceeding 1 year is B. Not compulsorily registrable, C. Optionally registrable. Both are correct. Question 94. As per Mitakshara law, joint Hindu family consists of 1. All male members lineally descended from a common ancestor. 2. Wives of all male members. Both the statements are true. Question 95. Which of the following is not true? The beneficial interest or interest of the beneficiary is his right against the author of the trust as owner of the trust property. Question 96. As per the CPC 1908, the court may compel the attendance of a witness to whom summons has been issued and for that purpose may impose upon him a fine not exceeding 500 rupees. Question 97. Section 4 of the Indian Succession Act 1925 shall not apply if the deceased was a Mohammedan. Question 98. Section 57 of the Transfer of Property Act provides for freeing sale from encumbrance by court. Question 99. Within the meaning of Section 51 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882, the transferee has lien on land for the value of improvements. 100. Question. When one of several co-owners transfer the share the transferee acquires as against the other co-owners, the same rights that of transferor had but is subject to any condition and liabilities affecting the share at the date of transfer. This is the provision under Section 44 of the Transfer of Property Act 1882.